Perfect. So with this, we will get started with our third session for the day, the Innovators Showcase. This is my personal favorite session of the day because I'm biased, obviously, as an ex-innovation specialist with GFI India. So back in 2018, when I first started working at GFI India, there were only a couple of startups, Good Dot and Good Milk, right, trying to really create next generation of meat or dairy products from plant sources, and now there are hundreds. So the sector has come a long way. What we are really trying to do in this landscape is build initiatives like our GF Ideas India community, investor showcases for startups where they are pitching to investors. We are doing dozens of product testing events, showcases, hundreds of podcasts, webinars. All of this platform that we've built under GF Ideas India community is helping accelerate the growth of these startups in the sector now. We've been seeing new smart protein companies launch every month, and they're not just starting up, but they're also smarting up over time. These innovators are creating superior products as time passes and as our market improves. They are creating products which really resonate with the masses, expanding their distribution to reach and move beyond tier 1 cities and early adopter cohort to masses. At the same time, startups have been integrating backward integration into value chains for indigenous crops, bringing down their cost bases and ambitiously foraying into global markets with exports as well. As part of this year's showcase, we are excited to introduce you to such a few companies at the forefront of innovation, cutting across various technology areas. We have entrepreneurs at different stages of product development, working on a range of formats and looking to serve diverse consumer segments. In this session, we'll hear from 5 new Indian innovators about their startups as they gear up to address multiple whitespace opportunity areas within the smart protein sector. Each innovator is going to get 5 minutes to present their solution and pitch to a panel of seasoned investors and also our audience here today in the hall. And the intention is obviously to create meaningful relations between the startups and anybody who would like to collaborate with them from this room. So let me quickly introduce our panel of judges for the day. We have firstly Mr. Karan Keswani, who is from Brink. Armed with a bachelor's and master's in manufacturing engineering at Cambridge University, along with an MBA from INSEAD, Karan has worked for 14 years in entrepreneurship, business operations, supply chain, project management, infrastructure, corporate finance in India and in the Middle East. He was previously director at Clearfield International Investment Bank and also director at Jade Advisors, a global placement agent. He is now the managing director at Brink India and is excited to use his entrepreneurship management and investing experience to support early stage founders and great game changers. A very warm welcome, Karan. Second investor that we have today with us is Sagar Tandon from Beyond Impact. Sagar is partner at Beyond Impact, a global VC fund focused solely on investing in animal-free ventures. He has about a decade of experience as an entrepreneur, operator, venture capitalist, and gender lens investor. He has led investments in about 20 early-stage startups with the experience of setting up multiple micro venture capital funds. Apart from his current role at Beyond Impact, he is also a mentor at Fashion for Good, advisor to Angel Protocol, venture partner at Republic, and an active contributor to the Gender Smart investing community. A very warm welcome, Sagar and Karan. So Sagar and Karan are sitting to the right side of this room. And the third investor judge we have today is Neha Poddar from Good Startup. Neha is principal at Good Startup, a VC and private equity firm which is focused on alternative protein based in Singapore. Neha is responsible for deal origination, investment analysis, and portfolio management. She works closely with Good Startups portfolio companies to help them in their mission of furthering the alternative protein industry. She has 12 years of experience in financial markets spanning private equity, fixed income, credit, and public equities, and holds an MBA from University of Chicago, Booth School of Business, and a Bachelor of Technology in Chemical Engineering from IIT Bombay. Very warm welcome, Neha. And our fourth investor panelist for today is Ms. Sonia Sadnani from CIACO. Sonia is an investment professional at CIACO, supports CIACO to make seed investments, manage portfolio startups, and build investment theses. Prior to this, she was working in a transaction advisory role at a CA firm. She is a chartered accountant and chartered financial analyst and has also co-authored reports on building an ecosystem for cultivated meat in India with GFI India and digital innovations in the mental health sector. A very warm welcome, Sonia. Great. So we have our 4 judges. Now it's time for our first Innovator Showcase. Before that, actually, I'd like to invite Karan on the stage for a quick announcement. We are very excited to make this announcement before the Innovator Showcase because GFI India has been trying to build the early stage innovation and acceleration ecosystem. And food technology focused accelerators are in dearth in our country. And we've been saying this for years now that somebody from the for-profit ecosystem should come along and set something like this up. So Karan would be talking a little bit about his experience with working with India via Brink and launching the Brink India Food Tech Accelerator, which GFI India has partnered upon as a knowledge partner. Karan, up onto you.
No problem. Hi, good morning. Which one?
Just a quick announcement for all the media people in the room. Please step outside so that you could interact with some of the guests and dignitaries that have just stepped out. So if you're from media, please feel free to step out for a minute or two. And then, Karan, please carry on. Thank you.
Thank you, Shardul. Good morning, everyone. First, I'd like to thank GFI for this opportunity and being a partner with us in our program. Thanks to Varun and Dr. Anand earlier and the other dignitaries for setting the stage and telling us about this 19,000 crore market, which they believe by 2030. At Brink, we're committed to it globally, and now we'd like to make a commitment to India to achieve the goals that Varun and Dr. Anand earlier set out in their presentation. So just to tell you a bit about Brink, Brink is a global venture accelerator, presence in 8 countries, over 120 employees, investing in various sectors ranging from IoT and hardware, health tech, med tech, clean energy, blockchain, and of course, why we're here today, the food tech and the agri-tech portfolio which we have. Being a part of Brink, we not only have programs and accelerator. We don't just provide capital and funds, but through our networks, through our programs, we assist the founders, we support them, we assist them in the GTM, growing their companies, and also in innovation for their products. Like I said, presence in 8 countries. We have 18 accelerator programs across the world: India, Bahrain, Dubai, China, Brazil, and of course Hong Kong, which is the head office and where we are headquartered globally. So let's talk about the food space. In the food space, we invest in the alternate protein. We invest in alternate protein, plant-based, cellular, novel ingredients, and also functional foods. These are sectors or verticals which we have an existing portfolio companies already in. We are now committed to India, and we're making designing an accelerator program along with JFI India, where we'd be funding $1 million into the Indian ecosystem and backing 8 to 10 startups with check sizes varying from $100,000 to $125,000 per startup. So all the founders out there, call-outs begin in the first and second week of November. So you have 2 months to apply in November and December, and due diligence by January or February, followed by a term sheet and then 3 months of an acceleration program. We are different compared to other accelerators because we commit the capital to the founders before they start the program. Objectives, we work with the founders on 3 main areas. 1 is technical development, 2 is commercialization, and 3rd is fundraising. Technical development with respect to certification, regulation, go-to-market, designing the product of that, commercialization with commercial feasibility, supporting them with pilots and business development, and of course fundraising through our networks of investors. I'll just go through this, we don't have much time. So this is, presently Brink globally has more than 50 portfolio companies in the agri-food space. As you can see, not just all across the different verticals in the agri-food space, from plant-based, tied to cellular agriculture, alternative dairy, fermentation, novel ingredients, and personalized nutrition, and also in data and software now. So we invest all across the verticals in the food tech space and in the alternate protein space. These are a few of our startups which have gained traction and have raised more than $2 to $5 million in follow-on fundraising. Born, The Nosh, Grounded, Hacko, and now more recently Avante Foods as well, based out of Singapore. This is our food tech network. We globally collaborate with more than 100 institutions in the food tech space to design our programs to help them optimize for the founders. This is the partnership which we have with GFI as a knowledge partner for this program, and GFI India and Brink will be working together for this $1 million program in India for the next year. So how can you work with us? It's not just for founders, but we have 3 more opportunities for all the people in the audience. One is to become mentors. We actively look for mentors. We have a large list of mentors already, but we always look to empanel mentors who are keen to support the ecosystem, who are keen to support a startup and to help them through their startup journey. So mentorship. Second, we look at corporate partners who can run pilots and explore the new technologies which are developed by our startups. So that is something who we look to partner with. And of course, investors, we're more than welcome to have your investors, which are existing investors on board, are more than welcome to come onto our program and invest into our startups along with us through the program. Thank you. Looking forward to, I'm around for the next 2 days, so looking forward to meet anyone who would be interested in any of these 3 areas to work with us. Thank you.
Great. So who's excited for the first Innovator Showcase? Can we get a round of applause for the first entrepreneur who's going to come up on the stage? By the way, Karan, really glad that this program is picking up, and it's going to be a great opportunity for startups to find that acceleration that they need to take their product from pilot to scale. With that, let's start the Innovator Showcase with our first pitch for the day. The entrepreneur is going to come up on the stage. They're going to have a 5-minute timer. The judges are sitting there with the products. And yeah, you'll all get to hear the pitch and then try their products later on as well during the tasting tour. So first showcase is Clever Meat. Let me introduce Clever Meat. Clever Meat was a winner of the India Smart Protein Innovation Challenge 2021, which is an initiative we've ran over the past 2 years, training more than 1,800 people, entrepreneurs, students, scientists, academicians, policymakers, multiple professionals in the sector. It's like a 4-month journey where people understand everything about all protein and then they present their idea in a demo day. So Clever Meat was one of the winners, and it aims to be the first cultivated seafood company in India by developing their cell-cultured seafood range, starting with a cultivated prawn minimal viable product. The founder that we have today, and I'd like to invite on stage, is the co-founder at Clever Meat, Nitin Shetty. Nitin is a chartered accountant by qualification and has successfully run FMCG business focused on manufacturing innovative food products in the past, with a distribution base of more than 15,000 retail outlets across India, Nepal, and Bangladesh for more than 6 years. Previously, Nitin also ran a B2B seafood supply startup in Western India for 2 years and has experience in the seafood supply chain, distribution, logistics, and economics. With that, I'll invite Nitin Shetty to start his presentation for 5 minutes, and then we'll have a Q&A with the investor panel for 4 minutes. Investors, during the Q&A, whenever you have a question, please let me know, and I'll pass on the mic to you. Nitin, welcome. Let's have a round of applause for the first startup.
For those kind words. Hi, I'm Nitin Shetty and I'm the co-founder of Clever Meat. At Clever Meat, we are building India's first cultivated seafood company. As it was previously mentioned in Varun's presentation, that by 2050, human population is going to increase to almost 10 billion. But having said that, demand for seafood specifically is going to more than double in the next 20 odd years. The current ecosystem or the supply chain mechanism for seafood in itself is plagued with a lot of problems like mercury poisoning, with regards to, say, plastic contamination. So finally, it comes down to a single question. Are we well suited for the future? And the answer is a big no. And hence, we arrive at a very simple solution of specifically taking out a few cells from an organism, providing them with the requisite nutrition in a bioreactor environment, growing them and providing them with our proprietary plant-based scaffolds so as to give them the texture, and finally harvest it in a period of 3 to 5 weeks for the meat that we desire. Cultivated seafood promises a much better form of meat as against the disadvantages of its conventional counterpart, and also the aforementioned advantages. We have currently made some great progress in terms of developing our own scaffolds, wherein we have evaluated our scaffolds with the fibroblast cells of mice. We have also identified 11 different growth factors for 3 different species of prawns, namely Monodon, Rosenbergi, and Venemi. At the same point of time, in terms of cell lines, we have collaborated with a few eminent personalities in this domain so as to expedite the entire cell line development process. So these are our few initial results. We have built up 3 vegetable-based scaffolds, which are seen on the right side of the screen. On the left side, we have the original prawn texture that we had, encapsulated. As against that, we have these 3 specific vegetables wherein we have inserted the fibroblast cells of mice and tested it for the same purpose. So our research pipeline includes initially from these 3 vegetable-based scaffolds, we would be decellularizing it and integrating it with the fibroblast and muscle and stem cells of prawns so as to recellularize it and finally arrive at our initial POC of arriving at a chunk-based, prawns and shrimp. And post that, with additional integration and shaping, we'll be moving towards a whole-cut prawn. The initial target of ours is the Indian shrimp and prawns market, both domestic as well as local. And initially, and post that, we would be laterally moving towards other seafood areas as well. We are very close to achieving our first milestone, wherein we, as I already mentioned, that we have developed our own scaffold, And at the same point of time, our cell line and media optimization is expected to be complete by July 2023. And with that, we'll be able to have our initial POC of chunks-based prawns and shrimp by the end of 2023. And the whole cut POC by 2024. So our go-to-market strategy involves initially testing our products for market fitment and culinary fitment, post which we'll be targeting or tying up with various chefs across the country so as to introduce our products in the HoReCa segment, deriving various culinary or cuisines out of it. Exports will form a major portion of our target segment. So I come from a finance and a business background. My co-founder Swapnil is an expert in terms of cellular sciences. We have 3 full-time members who are currently working on developing cell line development, scaffolds, and growth factors. We also are backed by some really experienced advisors in this domain. Like, for example, Mr. Nitin is a national award-winning aquaculturist. Ms. Suchita is an expert in cancer cell research who is helping us develop stem cells. Dr. Johita, Dr. Payal and Shadab have ample amount of experiences in scaffolds, growth factors and protein production, namely, and they are helping us out with the same. Right now, we are in the process of raising a pre-seed round of around 150K USD, which roughly translates into around 1.2 crores of rupees. And we would be very much interested to have discussions in the form of, say, possible interest towards investments. And thank you for the same. Any questions?
Now let's move on to the Q&A. What I'll request you... Yeah, for him. Yeah, you can just be at the center of stage,
Sure.
And wherever you're getting a question from, you can answer. So first up, okay, great. We have a question from Kara.
Yeah, hi. Thanks for your presentation. Could you just shed some light upon the IP protection and the status of that?
So right now, we just ended up closing in on the scaffolds last month. So we are proceeding towards filing in for IP for the same, but we haven't yet filed in IP for any of the research that we have done as yet.
Great. Second question, Sarah. Yeah.
Yes, so I have a few questions. First, I'll start with, there are a few companies in the international market which we have also invested, like Shop Meats, Blue Nalu, and few others. So if you compare yourself with them, where is your edge? Because these companies are far ahead in the journey. They have competitive mode in terms of a lot of capital. They have gone towards prototyping it. Some of them are almost there for commercialization by 2023, 2024. So yeah, a bit around that. if you can answer, then I'll ask a few other
Sure.
questions.
There's a two-point answer to this. The first one would be so we completely understand the advantage that these companies have in terms of capital, in terms of the research and all the POC that they have already come up with. And we are almost a year and a half behind in terms of POC. But having said this, our understanding of the Indian ecosystem in terms of food as well as cuisines, where we can integrate our products, because it's a very diverse market. And at the same point of time, the second part of my answer, it's too huge a market for a few players to dominate. Listen, there's enough space for everyone. But at the same point of time, our edge would be our understanding of the Indian seafood space, wherein we will be in a better position to integrate our products into the cuisines as such, because selling in a cultivated product is not going to be as easy as a plant-based product, right? In terms of educating the consumers, in terms of integrating the product into the final cuisine. So that's where we do have an edge. But having said this, I completely agree with your point that we are, like say, almost a year and a half behind these companies, even leaving aside all the resource advantages that they have.
Yeah, follow-up.
Hi Nitin, thank you for the impressive presentation. My question is along the lines of what Sagar just asked. So curious as to your choice of your beachhead products, right? Both shrimp and prawns. Given that most of the international competition right now is focused on bluefin tuna or other premium species.
Thanks a lot for that question, because this is one question that we are asked a lot. And the answer to that question, again, has two reasons to it. The first one being when we talk about cultivated seafood, right? Right now, the cost itself, like as per Shiok Meats, when they had recently launched their POC, per kilogram cost of cultivated shrimp for them came down to around $5,000, right? And even after a lot of research, they are estimating that in the next 2 years, that might come down to 50 USD, right? But then that's still far away from the wholesale price of the conventional shrimp or prawns. The alternative for us was, because we were, even for shrimp and prawns, it was very difficult for us to initially get the cell lines or even the live organisms to obtain the cell lines. But in spite of that, we stuck to this. The reason being, roha, katla, and a lot of other varieties were easily available for us. But two reasons. One is that the price point available. Shrimp and prawns automatically are amongst the more expensive seafood varieties, right? So in terms of bridging that price parity between what you could say cultivated as well as natural seafood, when we are going to market, would be relatively easy. Secondly, because Singapore only has currently provided regulatory approval, and in the next 2 years, by the time when we'll be out, there's a chance that India might take another year or two for regulatory approval. So in that scenario, if we go for what you could say varieties which are specific to India, might not be that great, what you could say, an economic decision, because we would not be able to export those products. So prawns and shrimp are, like, we are the largest exporters. India is the largest exporter for prawns and shrimp. So it makes sense for us to play safe in that scenario, that we have a hedged situation in that scenario. So that's why we started off with prawns and shrimp. Luckily, we got Mr. Nitin Nikam, who has his own hatchery and his own farm in a place called as Pen in Pune, near Pune. And because our setup is in Pune, so it helps us in terms of getting in those live organisms as well.
Great. Thank you. Unfortunately, we don't have time for fourth question. And a reminder for the next startups, if you are over your 5-minute pitch time, then it'll eat up into your Q&A. But I'm sure the judges will connect with you post the session. And thank you so much for that wonderful pitch, Nitin. I've been witnessing his journey since the time he was in the challenge, and it's great to see him pitch here in person today. Great. With that, for showcase number 2, we have Urban Tiller. Urban Tiller aims to accelerate the adoption of plant-based foods through the incorporation of their novel leaf protein, rubisco protein, extracted from a variety of green leaves, including duckweed, with plans to set up their first manufacturing facility in India. So with that, I'll actually invite Arjun Ayagri, who's the CEO at Urban Tiller, and Vaibhav Dwivedi, who's the Chief Operating Officer at Urban Tiller, to take on this pitch. Please welcome. We'll start with your pitch. You have 5 minutes, and then we'll do the Q&A. Yeah.
Firstly, thanks everyone for making it here. I think it gives us a lot of confidence, especially for entrepreneurs like us, that we're in the right space and most importantly at the right time. With that, yeah, so Vaibhav, what do you see on the slide? What comes to your mind?
So I would say I see a lot of leaves on the screen.
Okay, what else?
Well, a lot of green leaves. Food for me, food for some of the plants, animals.
Anything else?
Well, they all grow on trees, plants. What else? What else am I supposed to see here?
Let's break the mystery. Protein. So ladies and gentlemen, we bring to you the world's most abundant and versatile form of protein called Rubisco. Yeah, that's what we will talk about. That's in a bit. Before that, just a quick introduction. I'm Arjun, CEO of Urban Tiller, Vaibhav, COO, and co-founder as well. We have Shiva, who's from Singapore, who's the other co-founder and venture studio founder. Dr. Bharti is our chief scientist. Mr. Sachin is our chief agronomist. So, what is our vision? Our vision is really to play a very important role by supplying the novel ingredient called Rubisco, which helps adoption of the plant-based, the new age products that are emerging in the space. How do we want to do this? Through our platform called Proleri, which is the first of its kind in extracting protein from all varieties of leaves around the world. Why Rubisco? Rubisco is, as I mentioned, the most versatile form of protein. It has attributes like foaming, gelation, emulsification. It has a PDCAS score of 1, just like an egg. And it's almost like a one-stop solution in terms of an ingredient that can be used in all sorts of products. A quick view on how it on a comparative basis performs much better on its attributes. The challenge Rubisco has right now is on its availability at a commercial scale, which is exactly what we want to do at Urban Tiller. Leaves broadly, like I mentioned, Proleri, first of its kind in the world that we're trying to build. It has the ability, it has two key features. Mainly one, it has the ability to process any type of leaf broadly classified into edible, non-edible, and ornamental leaves in that sense, to process them and extract leaf derivatives, protein, fiber, etc., etc. The second key feature is that depending on the end product formulations, in this age, we have very niche and specific requirements by all the product companies present here. We're able to use a platform to match our leaf derivatives to the end products.
Okay. So we started working on this at the start of this year, and I'm extremely happy and proud to share that within a short span of 9 to 10 months, we are currently undergoing soft launch of 3 key products for ourselves. The first one that you see is Rubisco Gold, which is a neutral tasting, neutral color protein isolate, 70 to 80% protein. Rubisco Plus is a protein concentrate, about 40 to 50% protein. And then we have Super Fiber, which is essentially the premium plant fiber, which has applications in pet food as well as human food that we have. We are currently collaborating with the product companies, and the trials are in progress. In terms of our market, so given the versatility of Rubisco, the applications range from plant-based milk to plant-based egg, meat, even vegan options where it works as a replacement for egg. One specific use case which we have gone through already is a Mumbai-based plant-based milk company in which they are looking to fortify their product and add some protein. And the initial trials, the results have been really good. And we'll be expanding the trials to paneer and cheese as well now as we move forward. So in terms of where we go from here, so our soft launch is in progress. We are initiating filing our patents this year. Next year, we would have our manufacturing facility go live in October. We will also have our AI platform, Proleri, which we expect to go live by end of the year. The year after that, we would expand our sales team because that would be our first full year of sales. 2025 is where we achieve operational profitability and we start working on our second manufacturing facility, which we see become operations in 2026. And 2027, we'll end with revenues exceeding 12 million. We are currently doing our seed fund raise. We are raising to 2.5 million US dollars. Primary part of it will be going towards our manufacturing facility. Thank you. I'll take a question now.
Let's start from the other side for questions this time. So Sonia, yeah. Sorry, the questions are only reserved for the investor panel as of now, but you can please connect with the entrepreneur post this. Thank you.
Am I audible? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So, thanks, Arjun and Vaibhav. Great to meet you again, this time in person. So, my question to you is that where does your IP or moat really lie? Is it in terms of how you process or extract the protein, and also optimize the yield, or is it how you formulate it into products? So, which part is it, or is it the combination of both?
So our primary IP opportunity is in terms of the extraction and the isolation process for Rubisco. Our secondary IP opportunity will be in terms of optimizing the content and yield of Rubisco at the growing stage itself. That's not the area that we are focusing on right now, but we do have Sachin as part of our core team member who works specifically in that field. We do not extend our expertise to the formulation of the product. That's why we'll work with the product companies.
Thank you.
Thank you both for the presentation. Going back to your fourth slide, I think you had a red dot in there for the cost of Rubisco protein, right? So could you shed some light around how does it compare to pea and soy based on your current scale of production, and how do you expect that to improve as you scale up your production in the future? Thank you.
So our expected price for Rubisco Gold, which is the Rubisco isolate, we are expecting it to be in the range of 30 to 40 Singapore dollars, actually more like 25 to 30 US dollars. Pea protein as well as soy protein, I would say, depending on the source and where you're getting from, is probably in the range of $10 or $15 tops, right? So it's higher than what you have in terms of soy protein and pea protein. Having said that, we do expect these prices to come down as we scale up production. So in the year 2025, we are looking at processing 1,200 tons of leaves a month for this, and we expect the prices to come down in the range of 15 to 20 US dollars. The other bit is that this ingredient itself will be more premium. It does not require a lot of other additives that need to go in with soy and pea protein, given the functionality of Rubisco Gold itself. So therefore, we would say more premium, more functionality, but at a slightly higher price, which should come down over as we increase production.
So one thing very quickly on like the follow-up question again on the price point, because it's definitely very much on the higher side, because we have companies which are doing something with algae, and we have other companies also I've seen like Algam as our portfolio company. We see anywhere between 10, 15 to max 20. So how you justify it, I'll just ask a question added on top of that is it has a better nutritional profile than other protein sources like even like algae?
So one thing I want to clarify is Rubisco is not just protein, but it's beyond protein. It's we call it a enhancement of the product profile itself. The second thing is we have, depending on the protein purity requirement of the end product, we can vary the product accordingly. In the sense we have Rubisco Plus, which will be priced slightly lesser and maybe more closer to the existing alternatives. Rubisco Gold is obviously the absolute premium and will function for very niche requirements. So we do have products which will match what is required by the market, but it really depends on the end products. Hope that answers.
Much, Arjun and Vaibhav, for that fantastic pitch, and I learned a lot about Rubisco protein today, and very few startups are working on it, so I hope and wish you all the best for your journey. Fantastic. With that, we have a round of applause. We have the third showcase for a company, OT. OT is a plant-based dairy brand looking to provide unparalleled taste and nutritional profiles by leveraging cost and indigenous millets in their range of plant-based beverages. I have Ankush, who's the founder at OT with us. Ankush is an engineer from NIT Surat and a HR from TIS Mumbai, and he's worked previously with corporate brands and cultures, and with an obsession for roads less traveled and a passion for animals, he started OT. Ankush is also an amateur biohacker, vegan, and holds a professional diploma in weight loss and sports nutrition. Welcome, Ankush, for your pitch. You have 5 minutes, and then we'll do the Q&A.
All right, so good morning to everybody. So the guilt-free tastier choice is already on your table. You can check that out. OT is an totally awesome brand, which with an obsession to bring tasty, healthy, greener kind of food choices to the world. And we primarily want to help people make a guilt-free and a tastier choice. What problem we are solving is of a broken dairy industry. Dairy products, highly processed, and the way they are made is harmful for us. There are a lot of additives. For the environment, dairy is unsustainable, at least 10, 15 times more than any plant-based milk. We are now getting more and more aware about the cruel practices that happen in the dairy industry or even the animal agriculture industry. So we are primarily solving these three problems for about 63% of lactose-intolerant population, about 50 crore urban people, and the HoReCa industry especially, who do not have access to an alternate superior product. Why OT? I'd probably say because one is we are healthy. We solve the problem of not having any harmful additives, antibiotics, hormones. We have a high potential product in millet milk, which is indigenous to India. There's a massive global void, especially for millet milk. We are about 10 to 15 times more sustainable than a dairy product. We have a formulation which is exclusive to OT, and the ingredients are also exclusive to OT. We have a production power and a production muscle because of one of our partners being the owner of the oat-based preparation facility. And finally, the cost, we bring the product at about roughly 40 to 50% lower cost than other brands. These are our rock stars. As you can see, we have some premium ingredients like citrus fiber, we have beta-glucans, we have Himalayan pink salt, and one key USP which we have managed to pull out is we use low auroric acid rapeseed oil. Unlike most oat milk or millet milk brands out there which either use canola oil or rapeseed oil, we use a form of rapeseed oil which has healthy fats and fat-soluble vitamins. Also, our chocolate oat milk is stevia-based. We are the only brand in the market right now which is stevia-based, which again is a plant-based sweetener. We estimate the market size to be about 400 plus million. The immediate market available for an oat milk or a plant-based milk brand is about $65 million. This is the direct market. If we add in the fence sitters, people who are searching for something tasty, searching for something which is at the right price, I think that grows to about 130 million. Considering B2B as a healthy channel of sales for oat milk and millet milk unsweetened, we are looking at a comfortable $400 million market. The one thing I'd like to point out here is the adoption of UHT, ultra heat treatment products, which has screamed through in the years. We have about 1,500 million USD UHT market as of 2 years ago. We've done extensive sampling over 7-8 months with people from all age groups, people from fitness, people who are animal friendly, people who are having gut issues, people having digestive issues, people having an asthma background. And roughly these are the demographics of people who are missing out on an alternate product, waiting for something like this to come in the market at the right price. Google Trends have been very supportive to the rising search of veganism, plant milk, oat milk, plant-based options, and we also saw those spikes happening during COVID. Some of the trends are validated through the ratings that we have generated. All of these are absolutely organic, and not a single penny has been spent on marketing. Our go-to-market strategy has largely been to make sure that we are able to place the product at the right price. So as we can see, The leftmost is our B2C, then is our offline in the middle, and then we have the B2B on the right-hand side. So we've been giving discount schemes of buy two, get one, buy one, get one, buy three, get one across the platform to find the right price to match soy milk price and to increase adoption. We've had some very heartening traction over the period of time. We've seen about 350+% growth month on month on Amazon and JioMart. We have recently onboarded Leela as one of our prime clients, and we are also going to be having a collaboration with Snackable. We are looking to increase our adoption through B2B orders, and we have received B2B and as well as B2C repeat orders across all the clients. Some accounts we are expecting to onboard, and we are having conversations. We are largely looking at fitness as well as hotel industry, premium resorts. And I would be winding up with a little bit about the team. We are 3 of us founders and a brand strategist. Vikas takes care of the product end-to-end. Prashant takes care of the operations and offline distribution end-to-end. Anupama is our brand strategy, and I'm the CEO taking care of growth for the brand. This has been a small snapshot of our journey so far. We did, as I said, about 8 months of trials. Last year, we were part of the Amazon Entrepreneurship Challenge. Because of not having a product, we couldn't proceed there. We launched in July. We're part of the HEP program this year, and we have been doing some community building since then. This is the last slide, and we're looking at about 2 crores to raise, out of which 70 lakhs is going to be for machinery upgrade. We're looking to bring in a clean product machine. A chunk of it is going to go into a product and marketing spends for awareness. And yeah, that's about it.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Ankush, for that pitch. We are going to have 2 questions for this session. Who would like to ask? Neha.
If you look at the alt, first of all, thank you for the presentation. If you look at the alt dairy category globally, it represents about 15% of dairy, right? It's one of the most advanced categories. Yeah. And you already have a listed company, Oatly, which is also focused on oat-based plant milk. So how do you think your product compares to theirs, both in terms of the functionality as well as the price point?
Thank you. I think we have a superior product in terms of our ingredients. As I mentioned, we use a different version of vegetable oil, which is a healthy vegetable oil. We use citrus fiber and Himalayan pink salt. We are looking to patent our process, which will secure our interests. Millet milk is a product which Oatly or any other brand in the market does not have right now. By far, we have done enough trials to understand the taste and the perception. I think we have had the thickest unsweetened oat milk as well as millet milk, and maybe that's the reason why it's now flying off the shelf in HoReCa as well.
Yeah. Yes, Sagar.
So I'm a bit worried about few things. So I just tasted your millet-based milk. It has good texture, but the taste has a strong aftertaste. So the thing is with a lot of plant-based milk companies in India, what I struggle with is whom you're trying to target as a market. Because India is a high milk consuming country where even people who are vegetarians also don't want to switch. How do you make them switch? What's your go-to market looks like? And specifically with products which have a decent aftertaste, also it's going to be tough sell.
Yeah. Thank you. So, yeah, there's a slight aftertaste in the millet, and I think we're going to be looking to take care of that in the next batch. In terms of a go-to-market strategy, India is an emotional country, and it comes down to taste and price. We have been able to, at least in terms of the oatmeal chocolate and barista, nail the taste. Through our BOGO 2+1, 3+1, all the schemes that we are launching right now in the market, we have nailed the price. We are seeing 370% month-on-month traction on our B2C. I think that's a testament to the fact that people who are not waiting for a great product to come out, I think they're waiting for a decent product to come out with a great price. So I think price is where we'll have to ensure that adoption happens. Bring it to maybe soy milk price. Soy milk is where right now the benchmark is being held by most people, including B2B and HoReCa. If we can come to about, we already are there. In fact, we are lower than soy milk right now with the schemes. We are lower than soy milk. We are lower than any other brand in the market right now. If you get to about $28 for that Tetra pack, I think we'll be able to tap that 400 million TAM.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Ankush, for that, answering those questions. That's all the time we had for the questions, but I'm sure the price parity approach that you're taking will be in favor of OT in the coming days. With that, we have our showcase number 4 with company Just Dig In. Just Dig In is a plant-based meat company focusing on taste, texture, and nutrition to offer consumers the same experiences as consuming conventional meat does across innovative product formats by investing in R&D for constant innovation and new product development. We have the presenter Somesh Behra, who's the founder at the company Innovations, whose brand Just Dig In. He has a background in dairy with Milk Mantra, where he spent a lot of time understanding the dairy supply chain, and also created a plant-based beverage brand, Hippie, which won a lot of accolades across the nation and in Odisha. And then he focused on creating Just Dig In as a plant-based meat brand as a focus of alternative protein within Novolution. So I invite Somesh on the stage. Yes. Let's have a round of applause for Somesh and Novolutions and Just Dig In.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Somesh, founder of Novolutions Food and Beverage Private Limited. I'm here to present before you our startup brand, Just Dig In, and thank you, Shardul, for the warm welcome. So we started Novolutions. What's our story behind starting Novolutions? So me, my co-founders, and my core team, we all come from the industry. As in, we have worked in the dairy and the meat industry earlier, along with the frozen industry as well. So that got us thinking that if we can create a parallel product and a strong one, which we are good at, so why not build it? So we came together, and thanks to COVID, so we were already doing our product, which was Hippie, which was a leisure beverage. And that's when we got thinking that, post-COVID, the timing was absolutely right to get into the space. So we almost spent 1.5 years doing our research and R&D, and finally got our products out in the market. I would like to introduce you to my team. I lead the team. I have 10 years of experience, starting from dairy to meat to FMCG and to hospitality. I have my other co-founder, Chirajit. He happens to have 20 years of experience in the industry. And Chirajit comes with hardcore FMCG and consumer product-facing brands, both domestic and international. My other co-founder, Akashmika, she comes with brand and communication background. Very recently, we have also got 2 of our advisors who are Dr. Shivanand and Dr. Pradhan. So they are both from NIT and ICT. So they are helping us build the next phase of our products. So the purpose behind starting Novolution was to make a new age food and beverage brand which is focused on making products which are clean, innovative, sustainable, and convenient for urban consumers. That's the 4 pillars around which we have built Novolutions. Since plant-based meat is a very competitive market, but we have a couple of advantages over others. So currently, we are working on patent. We have recently filed our provisional patent, and that's around whitespace area, so we are working closely on that. Apart from that, we have a very innovative flavor direction route, which is applicable across all products which we make. The idea is not to make me-too products, rather add value to the existing lineup of products. The second is we are a customized solution provider rather than just making regular products and pushing it off the shelf. So we rather focus on working, collaborating, and making products as required. We also focus on sustainability and nutrition. So 75% of our products are palm oil free. That's a very, that's a step we have taken very, with all conviction. Apart from that, all our products, the breaded products which we are using doesn't have a preservative breadcrumb coating. So there are a few small things here and there we keep adding to make our products stand out from the crowd. Apart from that, we have a very experienced techno-commercial team of more than 50 years cumulative experience. So these are our products. So currently, we have 4 products out there in the market, and a couple of them following up very shortly. These are our retail packs, and for the investors, we have them on the table, so you can have a look closely. So our GTM strategy is, we have currently launched our product in Delhi NCR, and Delhi NCR has been really kind, and we have got some very overwhelming responses from the market. And so the next phase follows with all the metros and tier 1 cities, and then following up with some export opportunities as well. As in the first session, we understood that it's a work in progress category as we talk. So what we have done is, as Novolutions, we are doing a current phase, which is JDI 1, and there is a future stage, which is JDI 2.0. In the current stage, we are currently targeting a monthly revenue of around 5 lakhs month on month. That's our milestone. Talking of the progress currently, we have about 19 offline store presence in Delhi NCR, 12 online platforms, a couple of more platforms in the pipeline. We are present in Delhi and very recently started Calcutta. We have a strong QSR presence with about 18 stores pan-India, that is with Wow Momo. So currently our products are into Wow Chicken, which is a subsidiary of Wow Momo. And then we have curated 4 products which are specifically for food service, which are coming up within 15 to 20 days time, as we say. So this is the second, or the future, what we are working on currently. We have recently filed a patent, and we are going to work on the products based around that. Thanks to the media and GFI community for kind of giving us a shout out. We are here to raise about 200K for our venture, which is going to help us take the next stage of growth. And that's with that, I conclude, and I'm open for questions and feedbacks.
Great. Thank you so much, Somesh. Who would like to ask the first question? Sonia from CI.
Hey, hi, Somesh.
Hi, Sonia.
My question to you is that you mentioned about the strategy, which is not focusing on generic Me Too products, but rather curating the recipes, keeping customers' taste and preference in mind. Now, does that really affect your scalability? And if yes, how do you intend to address that?
No, in fact, what we are seeing is a lot of consumers want to try new products. That's a real hook, and that's going to help us scaling up. Because early adopters are all looking for baseline products, so we are adding specialty products to it so that we can have an edge over others. So yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Hi.
I'm actually very curious about one thing. One thing that you guys have nailed down is on the saturated fat, because every product that exists in the market that I have seen, not just in India, but also globally, it generally touches 5 to 10% saturated fat. On minimum, some even goes to 20%. Yeah. And all the packs that I saw, the one that I tried also, has 3%. Is it true?
Yeah, that's right.
How did you guys do that?
Okay, so in this phase of our products, what we have done is we have collaborated with an MNC, which is also working closely with us to kind of get our products to whatever desired output we are looking forward to. So these are the reasons why our products are considerably different in terms of taste, texture, and also with functionality and nutritional values. Yeah. And also to add on to that, as we come from the industry, we know the its and bits of it. So we wanted to be very sure and very precise about all of these facts.
Can I ask one very quick?
Yeah, you can ask. Yeah.
So very quickly, but on the other side also, like specifically with you, you have a very long ingredient list.
Yeah.
And quite a number of refined oils that you guys use. Is it something that you guys are thinking about going and reducing and making it more cleaner?
Absolutely, absolutely. So these are the first stage of products which has seen the market. We are constantly working. As I said, it's a work in progress category. So we are working really hard to kind of get it to the minimal ingredients as possible, because that's also going to help our value chain. So that's what we look forward to going forward.
Great. We have time for one more quick question if Karan or... Yeah, Karan? Great.
Sure. I think if you could touch upon about your go-to-market strategy, because it'll probably be D2C and the funding and the marketing related to that.
Yeah, thanks, Karan. So basically, we are not focusing on D2C as a whole. We want to be an omni-channel company. And, go-to-market, of course, we have a presence in retail, D2C, and food service. So those are the 3 structures on which we are focusing right now. Food service still remains the larger category which we are chasing. But of course, with retail, we have seen a decent offtake from the market because there's a touch and feel and understanding of the product. So yeah, but we are not a D2C company. Yeah. Hope I answered them.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Umesh. That brings an end to our 4th showcase. A huge round of applause and best of luck for your journey. Great. With this, we'll move on to our 5th and final innovation showcase for the session. We have Devagere Biosolutions as our 5th showcase. Devagere Biosolutions produces highly functional, clean label plant protein ingredients from indigenous pulses using novel extraction technology for end product applications, specifically in plant-based meat, eggs, and dairy. We have Smita Devagere, who's the founder of Devagere Biosolutions, who comes with a background in innovation and scale-up of unique technologies in protein extraction at a company, and has previously held a diploma in biotechniques from Institute of Bioinformatics and Applied Biotechnology, Bangalore, and has 7 years of R&D experience at Novozymes South Asia in Bangalore. Welcome, Smita. On to you.
Thank you, Shardul. 3 years ago, at the first Plant Protein Summit in Delhi, I presented an idea. Today, I'm very happy to present how far we have come, what all we have created, and where we are today. Myself, I'm Smita Devagere, founder of Devagere Biosolutions Private Limited. What we are creating is versatile, clean label, functional plant proteins from Indian pulses. So the opportunity, as we all know that there is a rise in vegan trend and flexitarian diet, there is an increase in the demand, and there is a rise in awareness of the clean label and functional proteins, and there is less availability of the biodiversified ingredients to create value-added products. The solution, what we have created today, they are novel protein ingredients, they are sustainable, and they are chemical-free. We are very proud. We are one of the very few companies in the world who are creating 100% chemical-free protein extraction method. Our proteins are completely clean label. So, before touching about our product, what is the innovation we have done and what is our IP status? What is that so different about our ingredients? This is what I would like to focus upon. Traditional protein extraction method, like basically it started from soy, it is there from more than 100 years. In traditional method, they use a solvent such as methanol, ethanol, and alcohols. Different solvents will be used, which are toxic, which are harmful. And they also use alkalis and acids such as sodium hydroxide, sulfuric acid, which are harmful to our body. In our innovation, we have omitted all the chemicals, solvents, acids, alkali, and we use only water to extract the plant protein concentrates. This is where we lie completely different from all the other extraction methods. And next process is once you extract a protein, to make it little lighter, to look lighter, they use bleaching agents like in sugar, peroxides will be used. We do not use any of them. And the protein is not just a refined protein, our proteins also contains natural minerals, soluble and insoluble dietary fiber as well. So it acts as a complete, in morning session we listened that they said there is a need of micronutrients also. Our protein is also rich in micronutrients. The best part is about the protein functionality. As we are not using any chemicals, the proteins are in its most intact form. They are completely soluble in water, highly versatile, and highly functional. So this technology, what we have developed, it acts as an innovation platform where not just for few pulses, whoever is actually growing in whichever country, whatever the pulses are there, we can use the same technology to extract the high quality of the proteins. Today, we have listed out more than 500 pulses which could be used in similar technology to use, which we could use that technology to extract the very high functional proteins. For both for our product, the production technology and also for the product innovation, we have filed an IP. So today, we have products such as from cowpea protein concentrate. Cowpea protein is also nothing but it is called as black-eyed people's protein concentrate. Karnataka is the highest grower of cowpeas. We have mung bean protein concentrate. Both these proteins could be used for excellent for eggs and baking and cooking in the eggs replacement. And also our cowpea protein acts as an albumin replacement. It is like similar to the egg white in its nutrition and also in its functionality. It could be also used in the plant-based meat applications. Next we have is moth bean protein concentrate, which is excellent for plant-based dairy products, horse gram protein concentrate. Because of its very unique health properties, it could be used in nutraceutical and therapeutic applications. And then we have plant peptides. All the meat companies, cellular companies who are working on animal cell-based culture, they could use our ingredients even for their media formulation as well. So today we have commercially available 3 products, that is cowpea protein concentrate, plant-based egg mix, and mung bean concentrate. They are available and we are selling for B2B market. The unique functionality of these proteins are they're functional. Once we extract it from or using unique technology, it comes with a protein concentrate where the protein content will range between 60 to 65%, and it is also rich in dietary fibers and minerals. As you can see, the protein is completely soluble in water. Protein dissolving in water is completely different than completely getting soluble in water, and it has a best foaming capability as well. What are the possible applications? Not just in food, it could be used in nutraceutical, cosmetical, and also in peptide application. The market is very huge. Today, we are focusing mainly on the food applications. The total addressable market is 48 billion. What we have as a SOM, it is like 50 million USD. Our focus regions are India, America, and Europe. Basically, where in America and Europe, there is an extreme trend in they are also looking for biodiversified crops. Our target is to generate revenue of 5 million USD by 2027. And our focus category is at present is mainly alternative protein, supplement, and also in cosmeceutical industry. So the milestones, what we have done is, as a backend, we have built a very strong technology platform, and we have received most of the permissions from government. We have filed an IPA, IP status is completed, and we have also received permission from National Biodiversity Authority to sell our proteins outside the country. Our business model is B2B. One is we will be having the product will be actually sold to the B2B customers who is creating value addition using our ingredients. Our ask and utilization is, so far, we have actually bootstrapped company, and we also received a grant from Government of Karnataka. In that, we have started a proof of concept, MVP, and then we scaled up, pilot scale studies have been completed, patent filing has been done, and we have successfully conducted scale up, and then we started selling. And today we have, I think I have connected with most of your people. Our samples have been tried out by more than 100 startups in India and more than 30 companies outside India. And our ask is 1 million USD, that is 8 crore. This is mainly where major portion goes with medium scale setup of our production, which is like up to 60 tons of processing protein per month, and mainly for marketing, especially in outside the country, that is US and Europe, and then to also for the operations and for our R&D developments.
I'm going to have to cut you short. Just last 10 seconds, yeah.
So to make all this, we need to have a strong team. Myself, Smita, I come from the R&D background, and we have Mr. Abhishek, who comes from the scale-up processing background, and we have scientist Dr. Archana Hegde, who comes from the molecular biology background. And we are very happy to introduce our advisors. Recently, we have Mr. Krishnan, who has joined our advisory board, who comes with the expertise in biotechnology industry in India. And we have Dr. Kshitish Acharya and also Mahesh Kumar, who comes from dairy and also molecular biology background. We are supported by Elevate 2021. We are winners in Elevate competition, and we are DPIT recognized startups, and we are incubated at BBC Bangalore. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Smita. So because we're slightly over time, we'll do probably a question or two. Who would like to go first? Neha?
Thank you for the presentation. Looks like your USP is around the processing, right? The way you're processing the ingredient. So my first question to you is regarding your revenue model. On one of the slides, you mentioned the 3 products that are already in the market. But given that your technology can be applied to over 500 pulses, are you also looking at technology licensing at some point in time? Second question is around the team. I see that it's very strong from a scientific, technology, and operational standpoint. Who is heading sales and marketing for you?
Yeah, regarding your first question, yes. First is with respect to the technology, what we have developed. That itself, for the technology, we have filed an IP, and then that itself is a platform where number of pulses or even any other proteins could be extracted. The second one is, what is the question? I forgot.
Who in your team is looking after sales and marketing?
Yeah. See, right now, as we are we have built up products, and then we will be, the sales and marketing, mainly we are approaching with our personal contacts, what we have today, but we have a list in mind where we have also showed that the hiring is in process, where we will be having a sales and marketing team ready by next 3 months. Right now, it's taken care by within our team itself.
Okay, great. Do we have another question? Sonia? Sagar? Great. I'll let them connect with you post the session. Thank you so much, Smita. As everybody has mentioned today, indigenous crops and making in India for the world. There are big problems with importing plant-based ingredients to create next generation of plant-based meat, eggs, and dairy in India, including the import duties. So I'm really glad startups within India are working and utilizing indigenous crops to create next generation of protein ingredients. With that, we come to a close of this session. I've been doing this innovation showcase for 4 years now. Over time, I've seen the maturity of startups grow quite widely. People are really delving down into technologies. People are really working on taste, texture, laying out their distribution and marketing plans. And I'm really glad that the smart protein ecosystem in India is catching up to the global status soon.